something else and I'm stopping myself because I like it. Hey dear people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tina Jäckel if you don't know me, and today I really want to make a follow-up video with the last video, which was about Chopin's guitar chords. I presented like 48 chords, and today I'm presenting like, let's have a look, 7 different chord shapes that you can use to either accompany autumn leaves or a jazz blues. And I really want to just expand on this topic because it's so fascinating. I think everybody heard this kind of phrase, you only need one chord shape, don't need so many chord shapes. But how actually do you do it if you only have one chord shape, right? So I'm going to get right into it. The first 3 shapes that I have here, you can find them under those numbers in the previous videos. One chord shape is like this. And the next one would be like this. And the last one would be like this. So those are all dominant 7th kind of types, and we always have the B flat as a root. And that's the first thing that we're going to get rid of, because we don't need to play the root if we're playing with a jam track or somebody who is accompanying us like a bass player. And so let's have a look at the same shapes without the root. And now it's already getting so super interesting. If we forget about the root and just for the moment say this note, the A flat would be our new root, just to check out the structure that sounds so beautiful. This chord would be like an A flat major 7 chord. This chord would be like an A flat major 7 sharp 11 chord, going back to the A flat major 7 chord. And then we would have an A flat major 7 raised 5 chord, one of my favorite chord voicings. So basically, this note is moving and the rest stays where it is. And those chord types, the major 7 sharp 11 and the major 7 sharp 5, really lend themselves superbly to be used as I'm missing the word, upper structure chord, right? So we're going to use them as upper structure chords. I'm going to show you exactly how I do this. First of all, I'm going to record 8 bars of autumn leaves. I've been shifting around 3 different chord types. Let's have a look at our first chord in autumn leaves, is C minor 7, and I'm using like an E flat major 7. This is an upper structure chord. I'm building the chord from the 3rd of the chord. C minor 7 is our chord, the minor 3rd is the E flat, and I'm just building an E flat, G, B flat, D, which gives me, and that's so beautiful, the 9 up here, right? Many of you might know this voicing, which is also a beautiful voicing, but also really like this voicing, just for the way the notes come after each other, right? Because it makes a difference how the notes appear, in which order a chord has the notes. That's why it's called a voicing. So the same shape with the same, not the same shape, so the same chord with the same notes, but in another order, can sound drastically different and even more modern. I like this voicing because I find it sounds a little bit more modern. And for the F7, I'm just changing the B flat to the A. And that gives me a really nice F7, 9, 3, 13 chord. So this is already something very cool to remember. Only by shifting one note, we have like a 2-5, right? So we could also go back to the way Chopin showed us the chords in his book and play maybe again a B flat in the bass. I'm really having trouble to play this with my thumb here. Right? But this is very nice if somebody would play like a pedal, right? Like B-flat pedal. You could have a nice 2-5 like this. And that's how we started here with the 2-5, going to B-flat, C minor 7, F7, and then the B-flat, B-flat, like we say in Germany, it's a B-flat, and then the E-flat. And then we just leave the same shape. So our goal is really to use only those 3 shapes. And then we have like a 5, a major 7, a 9, and a sharp 11. So this is already so cool. In a second I'm going to show you how you also, and I love this stuff so much because it really gives like a completely new way of looking onto the chords, and you can find so much inspiration with those upper structures, right? You don't have to play those voicings, you can play every drop 2 voicing, right? But for the moment we're going to stay with those shapes. I really love them a lot. And now comes the 2-5-1 in minor, and we need to change our shape to a major 7 sharp 5 chord. So let's go back to this E flat major 7 chord up here and turn it into an E flat major 7 sharp 5 chord. And if we use this voicing on an A, we get a really modern sounding, half diminished sound with an 11, a 9, a flat 7 and a flat 5. We don't have a third, but we have a lot of color, and we can shift this voicing down here. This would be like a G flat major sharp 5 chord. But again, we'll put the D in the bass from the D7 in bar 6, right? And just play the chord. This is a very nice altered chord. Sharp 9, the root, flat 13, major 3rd. And now we shift the same voicing to the 5th fret, so that we would have an A up here, and this shape is our shape for the G minor major 7 with a B flat, D, F sharp and an A. It's a very great sound. This is my favorite sound. It's so intriguing, right? And last but not least, we can shift the same chord voicing just a half note higher. And then we have a G altered sound again. B, E flat, G, B flat. That's the sharp 9 here. But just more cooler. So basically we're shifting those chords across the fretboard. I know sometimes it's pretty wide jumps, and maybe there will be better versions of other chords in the same position, right? But just for the sake of this exercise, we're going to continue shifting those chords, and we're also going to check out for a minute how we can see the scale in our chords. So if we go back to the first chord, the E flat major 7, aka C minor 7, 9, we can play the C Dorian scale starting from the 9, and then the next chord comes around F7. We change the chord, but we still play the same scale, F mixolydian, but starting on the 13th. Then the B flat, shifting this chord voicing down here, starting from the A, the major 7, and then on the E flat major, also starting on the A, that would give us the Lydian sound. And the next 3 chords, it's getting even easier because we can fill in the melodic minor scale into this chord shape, see it once, move it across the fretboard and not ever think again about it. So like this, the A half diminished, I just can play C melodic like this. So that would be C melodic minor. And then I shift the same thing like I did before. Play the same pattern. Play the same pattern. Play the same pattern. Play another pattern. Another for chord voicings that you can use to play the blues. So I'm using this chord for the G7 and then I'm just, you know, using this chord for the C7. I would always think about this chord like an F sharp 13 flat 9, right? I don't know. Right, it's half tone, whole tone, but still, right, tritone substitution. We can think it's C7 sharp 9. And this sounds really nice. In bar 4 we can play a 2-5, please do so, leading to the 4th chord, right? And I'm again using this chord voicing here, which is an F major 7. You can use it to create a G7 sus4 chord, but also D minor 7, 9. Those chord types are really closely related. And if I just move one note, I have my G7, 9, 13, just like a little side note, right? F major for the D minor 7 chord, F major sharp 11 for the G7 chord. Think about the possibilities, right? You can have like any drop 2 voicing, major 7, transform it into a major 7 sharp 11 chord and you have a 2-5, right? So having a 2-5 here, C7 in bar 5, using this chord again on the C sharp diminished chord, right? This chord, which I already understood like a F sharp 13 flat 9, C sharp 9, but also, right, diminished. I'm having a 6, right? I have minor 3rd, flat 13 and the root. So I can possibly do that. Don't forget, if you're using chords like this, you don't always necessarily have the 3 and 7 every chord voicing. Think about more about the structures that you're moving around and all the color notes that you get and all the stuff that you can do with it, right? So C7, C sharp diminished, going to the chord in the 6th bar, playing a G major 7 chord, not a G dominant 7 chord. Many jazz musicians play this very smooth variation in bar 6, which immediately is like, ah, major 7, very cool place to use it, right? I'm using this voicing that I had here on the D minor 7 chord. Now it's not an upper structure, it's just like plain G major 7 chord going to the 6th degree with this shape, right? It's just like a B flat 7, 9, 13, but also with the E in the bass. Very nice, sharp 9, flat 13, A7, 13, D7, same voicing, G. And yes, I took the liberty and transformed the 2 chord, which would be a minor chord, into a dominant 7th chord. Sounds really nice. Also, I really try to have a nice melody in my top note. Minor thirds seem to work really nice in top notes, I don't know, melodies. Right, can you hear it? I'm repeating sort of a melody in the chords. And then I'm just very lazy, now all of a sudden very lazy, shifting the same chord. Or would I maybe even use this? Yes, so. Yes, and now let's try to play some of the chords and play really only the blues scale in between, because we have all those sophisticated sounds. I have a feeling if I play some like really bluesy stuff in between, it could be a nice like, you know, juxtaposition. I'm always using those hard to pronounce words in English. So anyways, I'm going to play some of the chords. Wish me luck, I didn't practice this. Just trying to get some of those voicings in and going to improvise with the G minor blues scale in it, in the form, right? You know what I mean. So I realized, and that's interesting, when I'm coming to the 6-2-5-1 with the E7 here, which is such a nice passage, so all of a sudden I can't seem to visualize the G minor pentatonic anymore. So I would sit down and really think, okay, E7, where is it? It's in here. Right, always connecting the scale to the chord. A7. Right, or I can see this like a C cis sharp. And D7. Right, and just to give me the time to check it one time so I can see how it's connected will probably already make a big difference. Also C7. So now I found something else and I'm stopping myself because I liked it. I like to play the B flat. I wanted to interject the chords in between, it didn't work. Yeah, and that's exactly how I go about practicing stuff like this, right? Maybe you can think about it as a mix of really having fresh concepts that help you basically maybe see the same stuff that you always have been playing, but from a fresh angle, and then really getting down to it, working on it, practicing it, improvising, but then give yourself a little bit time, improvise, and then if stuff comes up, you're not on a stage right now, you can stop and look, what did you want to hear, find that and work on those snippets. And that makes me very happy because then it's sort of an organic practicing. It doesn't come so much from the mind, maybe the ideas come from the mind, but then I'm improvising and it all connects and I find new stuff. And hope you're all really doing good and see you around. Bye!